Back here this morning, let's get some stuff done. Looks like that pile burnt down really good. That one, I'll restack everything. Those over there did pretty good, but I'm glad that they burnt down enough so I can go over there and restack everything, and majority of everything should burn down today. Hopefully I can get that one back going. It had a lot of wet, nasty stuff in it, but I think I can get rid of all of it. Pile number 1 restacked and burning. Let's go over here and see if I can't get pile number 2 burning. It's going to be the aggravate one, I do believe. Let's go see what I can do with it. So I'm going to take all the big logs out of this pile and restack them over here to the side for right now. Because what happens is everything just ends up getting all crisscrossed in here and doesn't burn. Restack all those right there, and get these big logs and stumps out, and a little dirt knocked off of them. Let's see what happens. Should be nice and dry now. This was the pile that I lit on the wrong side, but I didn't have any good dry brush on the other side to light it with, so had to do what I had to do here, and it is burnt the worst because of it, because the wind, you know, was blowing the fire out of the pile instead of into it. But get all these picked through and restacked in there, and it should catch back up pretty easy. We got a good wind today. Luckily it's blowing it out here into this nice green field, so too worried about it being a little dry. We're drying out today. Can't see, dusty. Of course the wind's going to blow in every direction when it comes to moving some ashes here. Like these logs right here, they just need to be broken in half and then shoved back in the fire once it's burning. That way it can kind of be a little better condensed there. That's one of those elm trees that doesn't bend or break. That's that great big poplar tree. Let me see if I can't it out of the pile here, restack everything, and then put that back on top. There we go. Just completely disassemble the pile here. Grab this log, rake those ashes around, and then pile all that brush back on top, and it should catch up relatively easy here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go and dig into the pile of ashes like so. Kind of root that around, and when I can see, I'll pick the stuff that is, let's get out of ashes. The wind changed. I don't think the wind knows which way it wants to blow today. Normally what you do is you go and grab all the stuff that's still not burning, still burning, just kind of catches right back up. My God, the freaking wind today. Smoke's blowing that way until you disturb it, and then it blows this way. Just dandy. But I need to work from right here. All right, so that's kind of raked around. I'm gonna grab some of these pieces that are not burnt, or not burnt all the way up, but are charred. And now that they can get a little air to them, they will bust back into flames in a little bit and start the fire back. So I'm gonna sit here and pick through some of this, and once that gets burning, I'm gonna put some more of that dry brush that was on the outside edges in the pile, and I will have a nice fire here in about 10 or 15 minutes. 10 minutes later, like I said, fire would be raging. So I'm gonna go through here and grab these logs that I pulled out this morning, see if I can't maybe break them in half, maybe, so they burn a little better and I can stack them in here. Hang on something, there we go, like so. I think those are short enough, I can stack those, yeah, right here. Put all this on the pile. Come on, wind. As soon as I cut the camera on, the wind wants to blow this way. It did take off that way. Alright, well, I'm going to go around to the other side of the pile. I'm going to work around the back side of this pile here now and grab all this stuff and lay it up there on the fire. Since the smoke was blowing right there where I was trying to work, I'll just move all the brush over. Fires are weird how they burn stuff. Like over there, that big pile that I was worried about yesterday, all the big green stuff appears to all be burnt up, and the big pile of dry stuff on the end, not burned, that the wind was blowing into. Makes no sense at all. But that's how it goes. That's why you got to stay here to kind of restack them. But I'm so glad I did come over here yesterday and set them on fire, because that really got rid of a lot of stuff last night. So that literally all I have to do today is just clean up, which saves a lot of time and makes my life a lot easier. There's a lot of brush right here, and then all those trees from around the edge of the pond just had all those big mat of roots on them. So you kind of just got to sit here and just kind of pick through it. Try to get the brush out of the dirt. Makes it a little aggravating, but it's part of it. Still end up with a fair amount of just junk that won't burn, but we'll find a spot for that and get rid of that to clean all this up. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep running around this pile and putting all this brush up here on the fire, and then go over there and stack up that pile that's on the peninsula, and then go over there and do the great big pile. There's still a fair amount over there, but I feel like that one is still going to burn the best, so I need to focus on getting all these little piles burning, because they'll probably take longer than that one will. Looks like pile number 3 here burnt down good. I'm going to go ahead and pull that big poplar tree out and see if I can't break it up, stack everything up. rake around in there, get all these ashes disturbed, burn it again, and pile it up again. That one over there is finally burning good, and look like pile number 1 is, well, not really a whole lot left now. Not much left on pile 1. Pile 2 needs to be restacked. Pile 3 is, that I just left, is really burning. And then here's the big pile. So, which is weird. The smoke is blowing here to the left, and everything is blowing that way. But once you get some heat in it, I think it changes a little bit. So I'm gonna go through here and stack all this up again and get a good nice fire going. Let's restack the last pile here. So I'm gonna throw some of these big logs out. Pile all that stuff, it'll catch back up here really quick, I think. This stuff is still nice and hot. Drop that, knock some dirt off. Just gonna start grabbing all this brush that's on the top and throwing it in a pile. That way I can kind of rake through my ashes, get some burning stuff and throw in there. Is that dust. It's so bad you can't see what you're doing. I still can't get over how that whole end right there, which was nothing but that big green stuff, burnt. And then the whole side over there, which is all nice dry brush, didn't burn. Didn't burn. That's how it goes. Alright, I'm going to keep picking through this, get all this into one big pile, and it should rock and roll once it catches back up. This stuff is dry. Everything's burning down. I got that little one stacked back up with about 4 grapplefuls left. And still a fair amount up there. That one's just about maybe 2 dump truck loads and maybe 2 over there in that one. So I want to eat a quick lunch here, late lunch, and get on the dozer and just kind of start raking through everything while they burn down, and probably stack up one more time before leaving today. I'm here with the dozer, so I just kind of pushed the other pile up a little bit, and I got into a poof of ashes there. It got all over the side of the machine there. So I'm going to try to avoid that this go around, and I kind of been raking around these piles here, just trying to break through the dirt and roots that gets raked up around them, and sort through it the best I can. You always end up with the pile of roots and stuff that doesn't quite burn, so I'm just trying to limit that to as little as possible. Let's see if I can push this pile up just a little bit, get it to burn a little better. Got to keep everything pushed up. Dusty. Probably going to take the rake off, and there's a spot over here on the ridge for that other pile where we clear all those trees out. It needs to be cut down some with the dozer and spread out by the edge of the field, so I will probably do that. I don't know if I have time today, but tomorrow as I finish all this up. Blade over everything and smooth it up a little bit. Up and we're getting dusty. So I got everything raked around the piles, so I'm going to finish the day out with the 220, go over there and stack all these back up and let them burn down tonight. Last pile here, I'm going to restack it and get this last little bit of stuff burning, let it burn down tonight. Probably go ahead and take the rake off of the dozer. That way I can blade over that over there tomorrow and pretty much wrap this up. And then we're going to let the pond dry some and then come back. I got a couple other projects to work on for him on another farm, so this isn't a huge priority. It's just while I was here waiting for the other job to get ready, some work to stay busy on. So dusty. Couple big logs there. I hope that they burn up. I got them restacked and put in the center. I'm just going to keep piling all this nice dry stuff over top of it. Hopefully it'll be enough. The wind is just being stupid right here for some reason. All the other piles are blowing that way, no problem. Over here, left, right, backwards, makes no sense. Might be the way I got trees behind me. It's probably changing the way the wind's blowing or something. I know it's aggravating. That will burn down. Let's get some stuff done today. So it looks like everything burnt down really good last night. Maybe a couple grapplefuls there. I may am just grabbing that and taking it over there to that pile. Looks like there's about 2 or 3 stumps left, and that's pretty much going to be all the burning for these 2 piles. Get those other 2 cleaned up and kind of restacked, and we'll take the rake off the dozer, do some grading up there, and I should pretty much get everything that I'm going to do right here done today. Bringing the big chunks of wood from the other piles that didn't burn over here, and there's a few big stumps here. I'm gonna pull this out, knock a little dirt off that, a little bit of electric fence wire. Get some of these raked off a little bit, and I'm just gonna take this pile of ashes and rake it out. That should expose all the nice hot coals, and then I'll just restack everything right on top of it. That should get it burning again. See how there's a bunch of stumps kind of mixed down in there? Got to go through and get all that picked out. Knock the dirt off of them. Big old maple stumps hold a lot of dirt. Just got to kind of drop them, pick through it a little bit, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. But this last little bit's always kind of time consuming to pick through it all. If I had the off-road dump truck here, I would have just loaded, you know, this last little bit of stuff into it and just went and dumped it all in one pile, but I'm not bringing it down here for a couple loads of brush. Hiding in this pile of ashes. Another big chunk of log. We're stump, something. Dusty. Hard to see what you're doing. Grab some of this nice dry brush, pile it on top. Should get a flame back going. And I'll just kind of keep picking through here and putting all the chunks of wood here in a pile, and it should finally burn up this go around right here. So a little, it still baffles me. You know, you have all these hot ashes and then you'll just have random sticks that didn't burn in there. So that's the whole purpose why I don't spread this stuff out, because it's just full of chunks of unburnt crap, and it ends up making a god-awful mess. Fire is raging there pretty good now. Got everything piled up in there. All the other piles are burning down, so not a whole lot left there. I'm gonna go jump on the dozer and start blading over all of this to finish cleaning it up. So I took the rake off the dozer here, and now I'm kind of cutting this dirt down in between the fields where we cleared that row of trees out, and just kind of spreading it over the edge here to make a more uniform slope so that it can be utilized. So making a few passes over this, then I'll come in here at a different angle and knock this down a little bit more and try to get some of these roots out. Might have to put the rake back on and rake through it, but I can probably get the majority of them out with just the dozer blade. As I just kind of skim across there, there's kind of a ridge where it was pushed up over time, and trying to cut that down and spread it over to make it more even. Yesterday with the excavator, I took it and cut about 2 feet off and just threw it over the edge just to make pushing a little bit easier, kind of break it up, pull any of the big chunks of roots or anything that were left. That's the only thing bad about those hardwood trees is you take the tree down, but there'll still be a big root down in the dirt that you didn't see. You don't notice it until you cut it down or have to grade something out. Getting stuff done. So I got everything bladed off on the far side, kind of behind the pond dam, the peninsula, and around to over here. Just stopped and had lunch, late lunch. I'm going to shovel the 330 off, go ahead and take it up there where it can be loaded out. And got to come back, shovel the 220 off, take it up there. It's going to take a while to clean all the mud off that. Come back, take the dozer, finish hitting this area right here, and then clean the dozer off and take it up there to load out. So I got the 330 cleaned off and up there, and I come back down here with the 220 before I clean it off. I restack that fire pile. I'm going to take, there's some springs right here in the upper head section of this pond right here. I'm going to take the 220 and dig a ditch down through there so this will drain out. And like I said, the whole purpose of doing all this is so this will dry out some. I'll leave for a little while and come back once this has time to kind of drain out all this ground right here, and we'll come back and dig the pond out bigger and everything. And hopefully these ditches will kind of get that water table down lower so that I don't have so much mud to deal with. Well, that should help this area drain. You can kind of see that layer of sand right there and all of it flowing out down there into the pond. So that should really kind of help dry this out. I'm gonna go over there and do that one other section beside that big tree, do the same thing, and this should hopefully take care of all the groundwater as far as getting it a little bit lower and this material dried out. And all the equipment is up there. Got my hiking in back and forth, walking back here to get each machine. But phase 1 is officially done. All the clearing is done. If I had to guess, somewhere around 4 acres, maybe a little bit more. That was a lot of trees. You figure all that, all the way around the pond dam, behind the pond dam, and over there. It added to a lot of brush. So had some humongous piles, but got all those burnt down. Just a few little piles of ashes and some roots I pushed up. But all that is completed. Pond is lowered. It may be closer to 3 feet now, so that can drain out. And phase 2 will be coming here a little bit later on this year. Finish digging all this out, take the island out. And my ultimate goal is to maybe, who wants to make the pond bigger, might be able to cut that corner off right there and move the peninsula over and have that oak tree on the end. Was kind of my goal. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I think it'd be kind of cool to open that up and make the pond bigger and put that oak tree right there on the corner or the end of the peninsula, and that should grow into a real nice big shade tree. So this is it. Let's get up here, and I gotta finish cleaning the equipment off a little bit more, but I'll get you a good before and after video here, and I will see you on the next project.